Parliamentarians suggest for the formation of laws to prohibit political interventions in the education sector, also advised to revise the examination assessment mechanism and integrate education with employment. Top leaders say the report by the task force on the bill related to transitional justice was a cornerstone to concluding the peace process. Premier Oli says the bill will be endorsed by the ongoing parliament session. Thousands of anti-immigration protesters rally in cities across England after a week of rioting and disorder. High security alert issued. Nepalese embassy in London urges Nepali nationals to remain cautious. And USA on top of the Paris 2024 Olympics medal tally after the conclusion of day 12 events, bagging 37 gold medals. China in the second spot, Australia third. Parliamentarians have suggested for the formation of laws prohibiting political interventions in the education sector to improve the standards of academics at schools and universities. At yesterday's meeting of the Education, Health and Information Technology Committee of the House of Representatives, parliamentarians said that the education sector should be free from politicization. The parliamentarians filing amendment on the bill related to education suggested for revising the examination assessment mechanism, integrating education with employment, education in mother language, and legal management of teachers. At the meeting, Minister for Education Vidya Bhattarai said that Nepali students affected by the ongoing violence in Bangladesh were in a safe condition and added that the government was prepared to bring home those who were facing difficulties and wanted to return. Minister Bhattarai also informed about the formation of a committee for restructuring of the Council for Teaching Education, Technical Education and Vocational Training, CTEVT. Top leaders of the three major political parties have received the report prepared by the task force formed to find consensus on the Transitional Justice Bill. They have said the report will prove instrumental in concluding the peace process. The recipients were Prime Minister and CPN-UML Chair KP Sharma Oli, Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Deuba, and CPN Maoist Center Chair Pushpakamal Dahal. Premier Oli, after receiving the report, said the report has hinted at conclusion of remaining works of the peace process. He added that the agreement between political parties would be acceptable to the international community and that the ongoing session of the parliament would endorse the bill.
विश्व समुदायले पनि यसलाई स्वीकार्ने मात्रै होइन कि एउटा नमुनाको रूपमा बुझोस् त्यस उचाइबाट यसलाई लैजाउँ हाम्रो सम्मानित सर्वोच्च अदालतले फैसला गरेको छ त्यस फैसलालाई हामी पूर्ण सम्मान गर्दै अगाडि जाउँ पीडित मैत्री बनाउँ कि पीडितलाई दबाब दिएको छैन पीडितलाई पीडा थपेर या दबाएर कुनै कुरा गरिएको छैन भन्ने कुराको प्रत्याभूति गरौँ जस्ता कुराहरूलाई ध्यानमा राखेर सबै पक्षहरूलाई ध्यानमा राखेर अन्तिम रूपमा द्वन्द्वका अवशेषहरूलाई पनि समाप्त पार्ने र फेरि भविष्यमा यस्तो द्वन्द्व नहोस् भन्नका लागि
Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Deuba opined the cases of the conflict era that had been pending since 18 years is now heading towards conclusion.
आफैले नै नेपालको चाहिँ नि जो इन्सर्जेन्सी जाय भनिन्छ भन्ने गरिन्छ त्यो चाहिँ नि किसिमको चाहिँ नि जो त्यसलाई त्यसको चाहिँ नि समाधान गर्नका लागि जो प्रतिवेदन मेहनत गरेर ल्याउनुहुन्छ त्यसलाई उहाँहरू चाहिँ धन्यवादका पात्र हुनुहुन्छ त्यति मात्रै होइन नेपालले चाहिँ यसलाई चाहिँ अब हामीले टुङ्गमा पुर्याएको खण्डमा संसारमा नै यो चाहिँ अत्यन्तै यो विश्वका लागि पनि एउटा अनुकरणीय हुनेछ.
CPN Maoist Center Chairperson Pushpakamal Dahal called the agreement between parties regarding the TRC bill positive. However, he hesitated in giving much feedback on his first visit to the Prime Minister's office since resigning.
लामो समयदेखि छलफलमा रहेको सहमतिको नजिक पुगेर पनि निष्कर्ष दिन कठिन भएको यो विषय अहिले जुन मेहनत र स्पिरिटका साथ कार्यदलले अहिले भर्खरै माननीय गृहमन्त्री रमेश लेखकजीले भने जस्तो अरूहरूको पनि सहयोग लिएर धेरै छलफल गरेर पीडित मैत्री बनाउने कोसिस त हाम्रो पहिलेदेखि नै थियो बनाउँदै यसलाई एउटा निष्कर्षमा पुर्याइएको छ. यो हामी सबैको निम्ति राजनीतिक नेतृत्वको निम्ति मात्रै होइन समग्र नेपाली जनताको लागि जो शान्ति स्थिरता र समृद्धिको पक्षमा छन् ती सबैको निम्ति खुसीको कुरा हो।
The TRC bill was registered at the Parliament almost 2 years ago. Major parties had struggled to find consensus on 4 issues. A task force including Nepali Congress leader Ramesh Lekhak, CPN-UML's Mahesh Bartola and CPN Maoist Centre's Janardhan Sharma was formed to seek for an agreement. Despite the lapse of 19 months since the formation of the House of Representatives, 2 committees have yet to gain leadership. The Committee on Monitoring and Evaluation of the Implementation of the Directive Principles, Policies and Obligations of the State and the Parliamentary Hearing Committee have yet to gain their leadership, because of which they have failed to perform in an efficient manner. Despite the agreement between CPN-UML and Nepali Congress to lead 1 committee each, the entities have yet to gain their leadership because of lack of internal consensus among the parties. Based on the agreement, CPN-UML was to lead the Committee on Monitoring and Evaluation of the Implementation of the Directive Principles, Policies and Obligations of the State, but an appointment has not been made because of the parties' internal issues. Even Nepali Congress has yet to decide on whom to recommend for the leadership at the Parliamentary Hearing Committee. Ambassadors have been recommended for 18 countries at the moment. Complications are likely to surface if the hearing process for the ambassadors are to be held at the committees under the leadership of senior-most members. 5 people, including 4 Chinese nationals, were killed after a helicopter of Air Dynasty crashed at Shivapuri Rural Municipality, Ward Number 7, Suryachor, yesterday afternoon. All 5 on board were killed, and the deceased Chinese nationals have been identified as Zhu Tao Zhang, Jie Li, Yao Wu, and Ziming Si. According to Nuwako Chief District Officer Ramkrishna Adhikari, their bodies were found in a burnt state. Eyewitnesses said that the ill-fated helicopter had hit a tree and caught fire before crashing down. The 9N AJD helicopter belonging to Air Dynasty had taken off from Kathmandu at 1:54 p.m. for Shrrestha, Rasua. The aircraft had gone out of contact immediately after takeoff. It was scheduled to drop the 4 Chinese nationals at Shrrestha and then return with other foreign nationals. Prior to this, another helicopter of Air Dynasty had crashed in 2019, in which the erstwhile Minister for Tourism and Civil Aviation, Rabindra Adhikari, and prominent tourism entrepreneur Ang Chiring Sherpa were killed. The government has formed a 3-member probe commission following the Air Dynasty helicopter accident. An emergency meeting of the Council of Ministers was called yesterday as it formed a 3-member commission under the leadership of senior pilot of the Nepal Army, Subhas Thapa. The other members are Aeronautical Engineer Bishnu Basnet and Tanuja Pokhrel. The commission has a month's time to submit its probe report. The government also issued its condolences to the families of the deceased in the incident and the government of northern neighbor China. President Ramchandra Paurel also expressed grief over the accident. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What do you term the frequent crashes in Nepali sky? Your options are A, air safety ignored, B, complex geography and weather, and C, human error. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The Agriculture Development Directorate has informed that paddy plantation has been complete in more than 95.5% of the arable land in the districts of Madhya Province. As adequate rainfall was received on time this year in Madhya Province, farmers were able to plant paddy on time. The province has the best arable land in the country suitable for paddy. Out of the 386,150 hectares of land in Madhya Province, paddy plantation has been completed in almost 368,383 hectares by last Monday. According to the Agriculture Development Directorate, plantation has been complete in 98% of the arable land in Bara district, which has the best irrigation facility in the country. Likewise, 97% paddy plantation has been complete in Siraha, 96% in Saptari, 95% in Dhanusha, Mahottari and Parsa, 94% in Sarlahi and 92% in Rohtak districts. As timely rainfall was not observed last year, paddy plantation in the lands of Madhya province was lower by 11% in the last fiscal year compared to the fiscal year before that. 1,030.66 million tons of paddy was produced in Madhya province last year, and farmers expect the production to increase this year because of timely rainfall and availability of fertilizers. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces about the price and standard of food available at canteens of hospitals. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
क्यान्टिनहरु सफा छन् पहिला भन्दा राम्रो छ तर हुनुपर्ने जति चाहिँ भएको छैन
खाना चाहिँ मलाई राम्रो लाग्यो त्यो डेलिभरी पार्सल गर्ने सामान चाहिँ प्लास्टिकमा ल्याएर त्यति राम्रो लागेन
अस्पतालका क्यान्टिनहरु गुणस्तरहीन नै छन्
बिरामीलाई आवश्यकता अनुसार गुणस्तरीय हुँदैन
गुणस्तर चेक गर्ने निकायले पनि गुणस्तर कस्तो छ भन्ने कुराको ख्याल गर्नुपर्छ
टेन्डर हाल्दाखेरि उहाँहरुले सस्तो सामान हुने बेला टेन्डर हाले हुन्छ अब बजार वृद्धि मूल्यहरु बढ्दै गएको कारणले उहाँहरुलाई पनि त्यो अनुसारको चलाउन पर्ने भएको हुनाले त्यति गुणस्तर भएको अझै देख्न सकिएको छैन
मूल्य चाहिँ अहिलेको मार्केट रेट र उसमा त धेरै सस्तो छ
खाना यस्तो भयो राम्रो भएन भन्ने भने पनि उले के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि उले मतलब गर्दैन
मूल्य वृद्धिका कुरामा सम्बन्धित सरकारवाला निकायहरूले यसको बारेमा अनुगमन नियमन गर्न जरुरी छ
चामल पनि अलिक मोटो खालको त्यति राम्रो छैन दाल पनि अब छैन त्यही अब आलु र न्युट्रोला अनि मटर र आलु खाइयो
मूल्य ठिकै छ हैन एउटा कुरा अर्को कुरा चाहिँ क्यान्टिन जुन व्यवस्थापन गर्नुपर्ने हो त्यो ठिक ढंगले चाहिँ सञ्चालन भएको देखिदैन
सुत्केरीले ज्वान लिनु पर्यो भने 30 35 40 रुपैयाँसम्म भन्छन् अनि यो चाहिँ एउटा खालको चाहिँ अस्पतालमा चाहिँ भएका बिरामीमाथि चाहिँ सरासर चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ लुटतन्त्र भइरहेको छ
खाना महँगो भएको दोस्रो कुरो रोगको प्रकृति बिरामीको प्रकृति अनुसार खाना नमिलेको
सरसफाइ पनि खासै केही छैन
It's time now for the international updates. Thousands of counter-protesters have rallied in cities and towns across England after a week of rioting and disorder. Meanwhile, the Nepalese embassy in London has issued an appeal urging Nepali migrants in the UK and those who are visiting the country to adopt security measures. Gatherings in locations where anti-immigration protests had been expected, including North London, Bristol and Newcastle, were largely peaceful. Police had been braced for further violence, with thousands of officers deployed and more than 100 events anticipated. Rioting was sparked by misinformation online that the suspect in the fatal stabbing of 3 little girls in Southport on 29th of July was a Muslim asylum seeker. Mosques and hotels housing asylum seekers were among places targeted during the disorder, with some shops burnt out and looted. Immigration lawyers had been told by police to work from home after lists of solicitors, firms and advice agencies were shared in chat groups as possible targets. But only a handful of arrests were reported during the evening as demonstrations largely passed off peacefully. More than 400 arrests have been made in relation to the riots, with more than 140 people charged and some already convicted and sentenced. Most of the crowd had dispersed by 9:30 p.m. local time after achieving their stated aim to reclaim the streets. Riot police are expected to stay on standby for the foreseeable future, including through the weekend and beyond. According to Buckingham Palace, King Charles is being kept updated daily about the public disorder around the country. Bangladesh's Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus is set to arrive in Dhaka today to be sworn in as his country's interim leader after former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned and fled to India last Monday following widespread protests against her government. Rioters burned down police stations and attacked homes and temples of minority Hindus in the protests. The Bangladesh military's swift appointment of Yunus was a demand of students who led the protests that triggered the former Prime Minister's resignation. Hasina, the world's longest-serving female Prime Minister, had ruled Bangladesh for 4 back-to-back terms stretching over 15 years. The last elections were in January, which she won after the opposition boycotted polls. Many Bangladeshis were proud of how Hasina transformed the country, building roads and railways and developing a large garment export industry. But her party could not resolve high youth unemployment. That is partly why her downfall began with students protesting against quotas for government jobs allocated to descendants of veterans of the 1971 war for Bangladesh's independence from Pakistan. Students who protested over the job quotas were attacked by Hasina's party loyalists. Paramilitary forces and police joined the fray, triggering violent clashes that killed more than 300 people. 76-year-old Hasina was increasingly seen as corrupt, intolerant of criticism, and hostile to rivals. That included Yunus, who is perhaps Bangladesh's most prominent citizen. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 for his pioneering work on micro-lending to the impoverished. But in June, he was indicted in Bangladesh by a special court in an embezzlement case of over $2 million. Yunus denied the charges and says the case was politically motivated by the former prime minister, who saw him as a potential rival. He was released on bail and had traveled to Paris for the Olympic Games. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.